Good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I'm Dr. Ruth Anderson here with Enlightened World Network. The first day of every month, we bring you the monthly forecast for the month with EWN's numerologist, Michele Landers. We're so pleased to have you here today, Michele. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Always a pleasure. You always make it so easy and comfortable. So I am so happy to share every month the energies. And I do hope people pay attention to the energy that I describe, because in all honesty, this is how you work best with numerology. You work with the numbers, not against the numbers, because all numbers in numerology, they have a gift and they have a challenge. So anyway, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, worldwide, what's going on. So the world, the universe itself has one energy, and then I talk a little bit about the United States and what that energy is. So worldwide, I guess you can best describe July as volatile. I mean, that's the best way. It's a number 5. There's a big surge of energy taking place. So it kind of feels like the energy, and this is only the first day. So as we go along through the month, we probably will experience it more intensely, but it feels like the energy is all over the place. There's lots of changes, lots of ups and downs. There's a feeling of restlessness, even a little bit of impulsiveness. Weather changes. That's going to be really interesting. A lot of overactive weather challenges. It's as if the weather has, said, oh, yeah, this is a 5 energy. Wow, we have to get going. So things can feel, the challenges are things can feel really unstable. And again, we all may feel a little bit scattered. And then there's this underlying push. And I know this is psychologically, but it's also showing up numerologically, this desire to get out there and have fun and break out. Oh, here it's summer. So that feeling is intensified for July. And that's great. I know it's been so long, and we're still every month, it's a little bit further in the past, but there is still residual fallout from last year that has been really intense. And everyone has felt it on some level, and you may not even be aware of it. But trust me, that is absolutely true. So even though we have this desire to get out there and have fun, and I think that's wonderful, and we need to do that, we really do need to practice balance, because it's like, if we don't, we're going to tend to overdoing it, whatever, in whatever area, whether it's just having fun, or I want to get back to doing this and I want to travel. That's great, but there's this tendency to overdo it. And if we overdo it, unfortunately, we can experience a backlash of too much too soon. So as exciting on one hand as the energy is, we really have to be cautioned to try and do things in moderation. And as always, we always are needing to work towards balance. And the universe has a great way of showing us how to do that by challenges, because we're here to have balance as much as we can. And so the universe tends to throw us little things and say, okay, how are you going to handle that? Financially, it's a very interesting time, because the financial environment is also subject this month to some ups and downs. However, well, let me just switch to the United States. As of July 4th, the USA is entering a new financial cycle. And this is definitely going to put a big emphasis on our financial health. So despite the fact that we may be experiencing some overhauls in a sense, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like. The prospects for us financially going forward are really positive, but that's going to build. I don't believe that, even though as of July 4th, and I know some people say, well, that's not the official birthday of the USA, but I think it's July 2nd, but it doesn't matter. It still falls within that realm. So we are going through a financial transition. And I think, as I said, I think there's going to be some financial institutions that are overhauled, or things in general are going to be overhauled. But going into next year or the end of this year, it should really bring us more prosperity, a more positive financial environment. So right now, through maybe, I don't know, maybe August, September, October, things are good, but they're still a little bit up and down. The real estate market seems to be doing really, really well with that. So there's this, again, big surge of energy, and we're like, well, should we do this or should we do that? We're impatient to get back to a more normal way of life. But that can also lead to accidents. And so people have to be really careful not to not to rush about when they're doing things. So the other thing to understand is there is not going back to the way things were on many levels. So if you want to say, yeah, I can't wait for things to get back to normal, there is not going to be the normal that we've experienced in the past, which is really a good thing, because more people, without a doubt, especially in our country, are waking up to their spiritual divinity. And I see it a lot. I mean, even my daughter, who she's had her own experiences, but I've always been into the spiritual, and she's always been like, yeah, because I'm her mother, right? She's not going to listen to me, which I understand totally. But she's really been quite interested in her own spirituality. And I attribute that to this awakening. Now, if we can circle back a little bit to last year, which was a 22-4 vibration, and that's a big shakeup. It's a master number. So it stands to reason that the universe was hitting us all over the head with a 2x4 saying, wake up. So as a result of that master number, which impacted the whole world, a lot of people have now been questioning their place in this universe. And what is the reason why we're here? What is my place in this universe? So more people are experiencing that wake up, and that's a beautiful thing. So things will not go back to what we traditionally thought of as normal. And I do believe, without a doubt, there are more and more people coming together, supporting one another. There's this new level of, how can I put it? I hear the word, I understand, more understanding and more compassion, more ability, even though without a doubt, we all have, for lack of a better word, our tribes. And by nature, in your tribe, you gravitate to the people, like-minded people. And that's wonderful. But we want a more universal connection, and we want to include everyone. So there's more listening to what the either other side, if you want to call it, or other people, their beliefs, because we're upgrading. And when we upgrade our energy or spirituality, we are more compassionate, we're more understanding, and we listen to more people. So what does that have to do with July? July is like crazy and all this energy, but it's an injection of energy that's kind of pushing us to the next level again. So even though there's all this fiery energy, we can use it to upgrade our spirituality and open up our eyes and understand that we are all in this together. So there's much, 5 is also about curiosity. So we're more curious about other people and how other people think and feel. So all of this, it's a crazy month and a fiery month, but there's new beginnings and there's so many changes taking place. So it's kind of like a roller coaster ride. But as long as you can, as much as possible, kind of stay balanced within yourself and say, wow, things are really changing and I'm excited to embrace all the changes. It's a great month to recharge your batteries if you want to go on vacation, take a little vacation of some type. That's good. What else? I talked about the United States. Okay, so all of that is wrapped around. Okay, this is another important note. Again, the United States is in a 7 personal year, and the 7 personal year forces us to look within, forces us to take a more spiritual viewpoint and perspective on our, excuse me, on our life. And it also deals with the important areas. So how is that going to interact with this transit that I'm talking about, which is money? So material and spiritual, you don't normally think of them together. However, the message here is, how can we understand, or it's not even how can we, it's you must understand the place that money plays in the universe, that, in this whole universal perspective and this universal spiritual universal energy that we're in. So money has its place in the world. We have to stop thinking of money as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just a means, which I'm sure everybody knows at this point. It's a means of exchange. And we have to stop giving money a bad rap, but we also have to understand how money fits in to the world and our world and the world spiritually. So it's great to have money. It's the attachment to money or the attachment to anything that causes the problem. So how that's going to look going forward is going to be really interesting, because I think there'll be more organizations that are offering help and support to people through money. I think there'll be a gathering of people who are in the financial sector who have decided that they're going to shift their energy on how they make money and not make it, money just to make money, but realize that money can be used to benefit and help mankind. So the United States this is especially true for the United States. So I am really excited about that, to see how that's going to show up. And also the 8, this is an 8 astrological house the US is going through. It's about transformations. It's about money. It's about karma. It's about secrets. And I've talked about this a couple of times. And I find it so interesting that I'm hearing more and more about it, about the revelation of alien contact, that we have been in contact, that there's no doubt they're dripping this. And I had said this in January, that 7 was the perfect environment for the USA to start revealing the fact that we are in contact with aliens. And it's an okay thing. It's not a bad thing. So this month, there may be more talks about that, more revelations, but certainly by the end of the year, I think there'll be a bigger discussion and a bigger revealing of what's going on. So again, back to this month, it's new beginnings, it's lots of changes, the energy is high, and you can use that in a really positive way, or if you get carried away with it, it can lead to restlessness, anxiety, even fear. So it's kind of go with the flow of the month, go with the energy of the month, which expect changes. So that's pretty much what it's all about. Definitely on Maya White's page, she has interesting information on the astrological uh, transits that are happening. And I pretty much think a lot of it is very similar to what I'm talking about: volatility, ups and downs, challenges, but it can be a month of a lot of fun and a lot of good changes as well. So, you have any questions, Ruth?
Yeah, I love that. I was taking notes and a couple things I highlighted that I wanted to get back to. When you said go with the flow of the month, I was shown the lazy river.
Oh,
Sometimes you go to, like, I don't know who all has them, but where you sit in an inner tube and you just go along with the river. And I
I
thought
love
that
it.
is the perfect visual for this month,
It is.
the
It
lazy river.
is. I love that. That's a great visual for sure.
Well, and
Yeah.
the other things that I highlighted when you talked about the surge of energy and the change on the universal level, and then curiosity and the universal connection to everyone, and you highlighted everyone
Everyone.
on the USA one. And I was going to bring up what Terry Angel and I have been seeing together in meditations, because
Oh, please.
yeah, it absolutely is about alien contact. And so I was going to bring it up anyway, so I smiled hugely when you brought it up. So on Wednesdays, Terry and I do a program called Meditation Excavation, where we go in together into meditation, have no idea where it's going, and we just follow it. And this last time, what we were shown was basically a bridge from the ethereal to our realm. And we were shown that each of our archangels, including Divine Mother, including the Christ consciousness, has what you would almost call like an alter ego, has a galactic version of them, and they work together. They work in sync. And what we saw the other day, and I'm getting goosebumps saying it, Michelle, was them coming together into our realm. And
Mm,
so we're experiencing galactic archangels, galactic spiritual divinity working in tandem with ours in quotes, and
wow.
being here. As well as we have 500,000 earth angels that we know are here, and they've got them too, and they're here. So, yes, that surge of energy and that change, we're feeling it in palpable ways.
Wow. Wow. I just love how independently, when you hear what other people are feeling, that it all either concurs, and it all kind of dovetails into the same, to the same place. And yeah, it's a lot of validation. I mean, it can't be that all of us, right? Or how could it be that all of us randomly are feeling this? It's because that's what the energy is about. I love that the galactic energy is merging.
Yeah.
Is that the word that you used, or not merging?
Well, I would definitely say merging.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's a really incredibly wonderful time if we can see it through new eyes, and not there's always going to be challenges as long as you're on the planet Earth. You can expect that. Somebody had said to me, I seriously, she wanted to change her name so she could be fully enlightened.
Mm.
And I said, there is no name that I can give you on this planet that will make you fully, as long as you're walking this planet, unless you are an ascended master already, and there are some ascended masters. Jesus was one, and let's face it, I always say this, even Jesus had bad days because he was in a human form.
Right.
So as long as you're here, you can expect to learn lessons. Some lessons for some people aren't as challenging. And that's what I consider a vacation life, because I think we go through all these different lives. And I think there are some lives that are just vacation. I know somebody personally, when I do her transits, even the most difficult transits for her, the energy that it creates, not that bad, you know?
Right.
Um, so that's very, very interesting. But I love how it is all coming together. I mean, we're headed towards such a more unified experience on this planet. And will it be perfect? No, of course not, not right now. But more and more people are coming together and realizing their divinity and realizing there's another experience out there, spiritual experience, that you can still live in this world and be a productive member of society and do your job and do your work and be a spiritual being. They aren't in conflict with one another. And in fact, as you know, and so many people who are involved with EWN and a lot of other spiritual programs, that it's a wonderful experience when you can incorporate that into you. It makes your life more peaceful, for one thing.
Yep.
And it allows you the space to hear what other people say without condemnation or judgment, because we're never going to get peace by going to war, and whether that is war mentally or emotionally, it doesn't work. It's impossible. So I'm excited for this month, and I'm excited for the rest of the year as well. And I think we have a lot of positive things to look forward to, even within the changes, the weather changes, the earth changes, because, Mother Nature is like, okay, you got to pay attention to me, really. You've disregarded me for a long time. And, I don't want to be mean, but we really need to step it up a bit as far as paying attention to what my needs are, because we think we own the earth and we don't. The earth, in a sense, owns us. So, we have to be really cognizant of that. So I'm excited. I also just want to tell people, if they want their free July numerological, their personal July forecasts, they can email me at my name, Michele Landers, at bellsouth.net. So I offer that actually every month with my newsletter. So if people want to get on my newsletter and get that, or if they just want that this month, I'll be happy to send it to them.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Michele. And I'm just going to end today with the visual of laying in the lazy river at night and watching the stars. And that's how I'm going to hold July.
I love it. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Ruth, for
Oh,
everything, for EWN, and for your presence, which is felt throughout Enlightened World Network. And, I appreciate you so much. And thank you.
thank you, Michele. Thank you. And our friends here at Enlightened World Network, thank you for being here. Whether you're watching this live or later on a replay, you matter. You matter to us, and we're so glad you're here. So take good care.